Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we're doing another pro and con, and this series is called Theory of Love. Now, before you continue watching this video, if you haven't seen the series, go ahead and go watch it. It's on YouTube right now. So just search it and watch it and then come back and then we can continue. So yeah, like with the last video, I'm going to read off the pros and cons off of this Tumblr page called piningbisexuals.tumblr.com. I'll link it below so you guys can follow and check it out yourself. I'm just going to give my thoughts and opinions on their thoughts and opinions and see if I agree with any given pro or con. And yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, so the short summary for Theory of Love says, Third has been in love with his best friend Kai for 3 years. The only problem, Kai is a player and refuses to date friends. Third must navigate his failing to get over him, though everything doesn't go according to plan. Yeah, basically that's a good summary of it, how the show went. Him basically trying to bob and weave his feelings and how he dealt with it, how he couldn't deal with it at times. So yeah, the first pro, good cinematography. While some episodes were better in terms of shots and filming style, it's a step up from other BL shows. Yeah, I agree with this pro. The show looked very, very nice. Things weren't too blown out. Even the outside shots. Sometimes you can get outside shots from these type of shows and they'd be blown out. They'd be too bright. But I think Theory of Love, I mean, it is GMMTV, so usually the production value is very high. So I do agree. It looked pretty good. All right, the second pro, the acting. Off in particular really shines in this show. Oh, okay. I mean, Gunn as well. It's one of my favorite roles of his, but it was to be expected. Yeah, Gunn is a top tier actor in my opinion. Off really gets his chance to prove himself in this show, and honestly, he took the bull by the horns. He created one of my favorite characters who is well-rounded and flawed, but also excels in both comedic and dramatic scenes. Truly great. I hope to see off in other shows because I'm a stan now. I agree. I think the acting from everybody was very, very well done, especially Off and Gunn. Off, you know, I only seen him in Sodas and Honey Puppy Honey. I'm not sure where it went, but that show. I don't think his acting was bad, but I don't think he really had a chance to really shine. And I think that's when he was really kind of starting out. So I guess he evolved and grew as an actor. And I gotta say, it really paid off. So I agree with this pro, 100%. Okay, the story. I feel like the story most people were able to relate to, for sure. Almost everyone has a one-sided crush in their lives. Most of us on a friend. It's really refreshing to actually be able to relate to characters I was watching on the screen. I gotta say, I do like the story as well. Now, I don't like how some of it was executed necessarily, but overall, I like the story, especially with the different romances with the other characters. I think they did that very well, and I was excited to see each episode each week. Each episode kept me wanting more of, and I really enjoyed it, and the story was a big factor in that, so I agree with this pro. Similar to that, so I guess piggybacking off of the first pro, or the other pro, I feel like this show really stands out from others in the BL world. It doesn't really have much fan service, or at least at the start. That's true. At the beginning, it wasn't very typically fan service. And it doesn't feel like fan service compared to other series. It just feels different in a good way. Not like, look, there's two guys being cute, but focusing more on the friends to lover aspect. It feels more mature. Okay, I get what they're saying. So basically, the show itself showcased the friendship between all the friends throughout the show. It wasn't just like the couples and then being like all like with each other. They showed their work life, they show their friendships with each other, the parents and everything like that. There are other students at the school as well. I agree, I like it a lot. There's lots of shows, especially a few modern day ones like like Love by Chance and like Tar and Type and Until We Meet Again, where they focus on the couple so much and very little on their friendships with everybody else, to the point where it's kind of like, all right, give me something else. But with this show, they really bounce around with everybody and everything, and I gotta agree with that a lot. I'm surprised they said that. I didn't think anyone would pick up on that, but I agree, yeah. You can tell the entire cast and crew really care about the show they're making, which is incredibly rare. Oh, everything was well rounded and well done, and it feels like an actual good show, even without the ships. Compared to some other shows that are amazing solely based on the ships, you can tell that it was a bunch of effort into the story, the casting, the acting, the cinematography, everything they did. It seemed like they really cared about what they were doing. They just weren't like just, phoning it in just because they knew it was going to be popular because Off Gun is popular. They really put some effort into it. And I agree. It seemed like they really did. It was a very awesome TV show. I liked it a lot. So the next pro, the movie references are really pleasant. It gives the show its own identity and really sets it apart from the other Thai shows about high school boys in uniforms. I do agree. I love how they gave the characters hobbies and interests. They all like filmmaking, movies, and they reference all the different films. They watch them together. They go to like they watch them at home. They also go out to I guess movies in the park. That one friend who worked at that one place suggests movies to people to rent, and it made it feel like these are real people who had a real interest, and they kept showcasing that, even with the whole play thing too. You can tell they're in it because they love the passion of like acting and film and stuff like that. So I agree that it's very different from most of these BL dramas to have something that the characters actually care about rather outside of each other. So yeah, I agree with that 100%. The next pro, both Kai and Third, main couple, and Un and Two, secondary couple, are well written and get a happy ending they deserve. I like both couples actually, and I agree with this. The endings made sense. I do think the second couple, I wish we would have maybe spent more time with them, a little bit more time, because we did spend time with the friends and we did spend time with them. I just wish we had a little bit more time with them. But other than that, I do agree with this pro for real, because all the characters were so great and likable in one way or another. So yeah, I do agree with this pro. Final pro is the lack of homophobia. No one bats an eye when Kai, the great lady seducer, shows interest in a boy. And the internal conflict between the characters has nothing to do with the sexuality, which is refreshing. You know what? That's true. Like the friends didn't they didn't like check him or nothing. They were just like, oh, all right, and they kept it going. They was actually rooting for him and rooting for them. And even Kai being like conflicted, it was more of because that's his homeboy. Remember, he doesn't date friends, so he was kind of like, should I break this rule? Like, how do I not know how he felt? Like, how do I feel now? And never worked with none of these girls. Maybe that's the reason. Like, he had all these other feelings other than disgust of why he didn't want to go forward initially with this situation. So I agree with that. I didn't realize. Now that I'm reading this and thinking about it, like, yeah, this show really was not playing games with us. This is one of my favorite BL dramas, Theory of Love, for real. So now we have the cons, and there's only 2 of them. So yeah, I feel like the show's last 2 episodes weren't as good as the rest of the show. Oh, in episode 11, we had a whole cheating storyline that was unnecessary. And we could have done without the drama. In episode 12, we don't get to see Kai and Thurs as boyfriends in the beginning stages of the relationship. We only see them 4 years later, which bothered me because I feel like we could have done without the time jump. Okay. So there was some drama before they became like a couple, which, it happens. I guess I don't mind that. To me personally, I don't mind. I think the fake cheating thing was kind of like, all right, but like I don't mind there being like a little like bump in the road maybe before we got to that point, but it doesn't bother me too much. Now the time jump, now I'm thinking about it. So what would, you know what? I think it would have been nice to see like maybe a small tiny montage like throughout the years, maybe. Yeah, we could have got a montage and then the time jump. Be like, okay, it's been 4 years since then. Here we are now. Um, but I don't think that's too much of a con for me. I don't mind it. I do wish we had like a little more time with them in the beginning because they just started, you know, going out. But I'm fine because we spent time with them. Their friendship, when it was good, I guess that kind of would show what they would have been like, I guess, together. You know, watching movies together and doing things and getting each other's gifts and like they were basically that already throughout the show. So I'm fine. So I don't 100% agree with this con, but I get what they're saying. I kind of agree a little bit. And the last con is Unto is high key so good they deserve their own series. Though they managed to be iconic and one of my favorite ships ever with such short screen time. Um, I don't know. I don't know if I think they should have their own series necessarily, but they were pretty awesome. I just wish they would have been showcased more. Like I wish their plot line was a little more streamlined because we spent sometimes not spending time on them, and I wish we kind of kept them in the mix longer than we did. But I feel like they did get a decent amount of screen time, especially for a secondary couple. Um, but so I kind of agree with this con. Like I wouldn't mind a series, but I don't think it's necessarily. And let's see the overall rating. They gave the show a 9 out of 10. I also gave it a 9 out of 10. I agree. I love Theory of Love. If I could suggest any BL drama, if I like, is definitely on my top 5 list of shows to suggest to someone. Theory of Love is it's a banger. It's good. I loved it. Cinematography, the acting, the characters, the story, everything about it. I enjoyed it. I haven't rewatched it since I watched it, but I think now doing this video, I'm gonna go rewatch it again, and just enjoy it again a second time. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of each pro, each con. Let me know below. Please follow their Tumblr page. Give them a follow. Show them some love. Please and thank you. And if you enjoy watching this with me, give me a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next video.